Hey guys, coming at you today with a little tutorial video on how I make a quick and easy and better for you basil pesto sauce. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. My name's Alicia and I'm a pastry chef with a sweet tooth, but I have been a chef in restaurants most of my life. And I'm here to bring you all the tips and tricks on how to make the best recipes possible. So if you enjoy my recipes and my videos, please hit the subscribe button down there, give the video a thumbs up, leave me comments, and share with all your friends and family. And go watch some of my old videos. It all helps my channel grow and to bring you new videos every Saturday. Today, some basil pesto. And I don't really have a recipe. Like, I'm a busy mom. I used to be a chef. I don't really measure a ton. It's a lot to feel and to taste and texture and look of things. I just throw stuff together, and I have some tips and tricks on how to stretch the pesto, how to make it easier and cost effective, and all that stuff. So, first ingredient in pesto is basil. Now, I do have a video I shot with me and my son planting herbs. Luckily, my mom gave me an arrow garden to transplant all those because they weren't doing great in the pots. So I have an arrow garden, which I do recommend. It is nice, especially for herbs. If you don't have an arrow garden and you want to make pesto, I do recommend getting a little basil plant from Walmart or some other place like that, because even if it doesn't last you all summer, it's still cheaper and better quality than trying to buy the packages of basil, because that stuff doesn't last very long. You only see the outside, you don't see what the inside looks like. So I always suggest just buying a little basil plant. If you really like pesto, you can have it a couple of times until the plant unfortunately will probably die on you. But you can also transplant them outside. I don't have anywhere to really transplant plants right now. We have deer and a lot of wildlife. We need some kind of enclosure. So with a basil plant or even an arrow garden, you want to keep clipping the basil and stuff off in order for it to grow more. So what I did, I still lost a bunch of herbs because I should have probably made this video a week ago. So I had a lot more in here, but plastic bag over herbs in water and a paper towel to keep these kind of in there. I had to get rid of a bunch yesterday, literally. I was like, man, I was gonna shoot the video and I needed all that. This is what I have, and then I'm gonna clip some more basil. You can also put different herbs in here. Probably put some parsley, because parsley isn't a super strong flavor, but it adds to the green freshness of a pesto. And then what we did in the restaurant business a lot of times to stretch pesto was to puree up some spinach in the pesto. And that really helps keep it very vibrant green for a long time. Like, I'll show you, I have some pesto left over from over a month ago. It'll last a long time in your fridge. Okay, so pesto is very, very simple. And a lot of this stuff, like I said, you can put different kinds of herbs in it. I've got pine nuts here. You don't need to use pine nuts. You can use walnuts or almonds or pretty much any nut that you like, but pine nuts are the traditional nut to add to pesto. I got Parmesan cheese, which I had him buy this nice Parmesan because I felt like being a little bit fancy, but you can use any Parmesan you want. Salt, pepper, and garlic. That's really it for the ingredients. Another trick, when I get garlic, which I've been buying it in bulk at BJ's, it's like 5 cloves. I've been roasting a couple heads of garlic. $4.25. I just cut the top off. It exposes the cloves. Oil, salt, pepper in tin foil. Throw it in the oven. I check it after 30. I usually do it for about an hour. You want the cloves just super soft. So I always do that, and it makes your garlic last for a really long time. I have 2 whole heads in here. It doesn't make a ton, especially because the heads were really tiny. If you use cooked garlic in your pesto, you can use more. It's a more sweeter flavor, and it's way less spicy. I had this girl who used to be the sandwich person at a hotel I worked at, and she had a pesto recipe, and she ran out of roasted garlic for some reason, and she used the same amount of raw garlic as roasted garlic, and that pesto was so spicy. You can definitely overdo it on fresh garlic, but you don't have that problem with roasted garlic. With garlic, I measure with my heart most of the time because I love it. Roasting the garlic definitely takes away that raw punch, and that way you could even use this without cooking it. So you can use it in a cold pasta salad or on a salad. Like I mixed pesto with fresh mozzarella and tomatoes. Instead of having to have nice looking fresh basil for like a caprese, you can use your pesto for that. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of roasted garlic in there. Love roasted garlic. And we do need to try this on something. So I did break down and buy some of this 2-gram net carb pasta from Kaizen. And I wasn't gonna do it because the 1-star reviews were bad. And there was a lot of them. It was half 1-star reviews, half 5-star reviews. So after I read the 1-star reviews, I'm like, I really don't want to spend $31 on 3 boxes of pasta and for it to be horrible. But then I read the 5 stars and they were good. So I'm gonna try it. But today is clean out the fridge day. So I'm gonna make a pasta dish with just stuff I have left over. I just have a lot of veggies, some chicken, and I wanna make up a quick pasta dish. So I'm just putting all the basil in there. Thai basil is a little bit different. It smells more earthy than regular basil. You can use a food processor for this, but it does come out better and more fine in a blender. We always made such a big batch at the country club that we would use a food processor, but to make it fine enough, you need a lot of volume in a food processor. Unless you have a little guy, then you can definitely use a food processor and just make a small amount. See, my stuff started growing roots here. So you gotta kind of use it fast. Okay, so all that basil's in there. Oh, parsley. Pine nuts, this was 3/4 of a cup. I probably used half of it. Yeah, I used over half of it for my last batch. So this is about 1/4 cup. Again, if you like a real nutty, you can add more. Cooking is a lot to taste, so it's really like whatever you want to put in here. Do 1/4 cup of Parmesan. This is 1/3 of a cup, by the way. My 1/4 cup is dirty. So I had enough basil to come to about the 2-cup line, but it's not packed in, it's just kind of laying in there. I don't know why my husband bought such a big thing of baby spinach. Usually I just buy the little bags. We're gonna put that in after we get this kind of blended up. Add in a pinch of salt and pepper. Don't go too crazy because you can always add more, you can't take away. Then next up is the oil. A lot of recipes will just call for like extra virgin or just olive oil in general. But the thing that made me annoyed was I could not find a commercial pesto on the market that didn't have canola or soybean oil. And I'm not like a stickler for like no soybean, no canola in anything because, you know, here and there it's fine, whatever. But pesto is primarily oil and basil. You're getting a concentrated amount in that. I believe there's only one that doesn't use the canola oil, and that's Siete, but they put sugar in it. Pesto doesn't need sugar. Like, I don't even know why you'd put sugar in it. I'm not a huge fan of pure extra virgin olive oil taste because I don't like olives in general. Like, I don't like the flavor of olives. So I always do half olive oil, half avocado oil. But again, I just do it to taste. So a couple swirls around. I did used to watch Bobby of Flav City, and he always talked about the origins of the olive oil. So I bought 100% from Spain olive oil. It was the cheapest at BJ's. So I bought the big thing. I like to use it for dressings and stuff like that. We're gonna give that an initial blend first. This is gonna be hard to see. I should probably do another camera angle. Okay, let's blend it up a little bit. I didn't hit the record button. Just want to blend it up a little bit to start. One of the big things with pesto is not over blending because you can get like a bruised basil leaf. You don't really want that. So once you're all in there, you see how much oil you have. You know you need more or less. You want a sauce. You don't just want a paste. Because we're going to be mixing this in stuff, you want oil to coat everything. So we're going to do another splash and another splash. We'll give it one more blend and then we'll add some of the spinach to it. Okay, so that's looking like a nice consistency right there. So if you don't need more than 1 cup of pesto, that should be fine. And give it a taste. Make sure it's seasoned well. Tastes good. Basil, salt, very fresh, garlicky. So you can literally just blend it up a tiny bit more and your pesto's ready to go. But I always like to make extra, and since I already have this, the spinach doesn't like cut down the basil taste a lot because it really doesn't have any flavor itself. It just stretches it a little bit. And we bought it, so I'll be using this in recipes for like the next 2 weeks, hopefully, if it doesn't go bad. A little bit more of each olive oil. I didn't crunch the numbers, but this is probably also cheaper than buying pesto in the store. That made an extra half cup of pesto. And it tastes pretty much the same. It's nice and bright green. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil to it because I do want it a little bit soupier. But other than that, I think it just might need a little bit of salt and we're good to go. Looks good. Needs more salt. Quite a hefty pinch, I'd say. I'm trying to tell if there's enough garlic in there. I don't think there is enough for me. I'm gonna add in a couple more cloves of roasted garlic. Nice and vibrant green. If you already have your pasta ready, say you're making a cold pasta salad, dipping the cold pasta in the basil pesto would be a good way to tell if it was seasoned enough because pasta doesn't really have any flavor. So if you have that on hand to taste for seasoning, it'd be good. That's delish. Now I taste the roasted garlic in there. I might have added a bit too much salt, but the nice thing is you're adding this to stuff that's really bland. You do want it pretty flavorful because otherwise it's just gonna get muted. So that is your delicious basil pesto. Now you'll be seeing me hopefully cook up some delicious low carb pasta. We'll see. Okay, I decided not to make the whole pasta dish right now because my husband's probably not gonna be home for another 2 hours. So you'll see it here and probably on the thumbnail, but I cooked this pasta up. So this is just lupin, bean, and xanthan gum. So less ingredients than the other one. I cooked it for about 4 minutes. I was worried it was gonna get too mushy, so I might give it more heat once I get the pesto on it because there are some hard parts in there. There were a lot of good suggestions on my last video on the Cajun pasta. A lot of people said they put vinegar on it or a little bit of oil and then put it in the fridge, like they cook it a day ahead, and it helps soften up the noodle. So that could be an option. Add a little pesto to it. Handle's real hot. And I figured I would try a different shape because different shapes may be better than others. Because like maybe some you can make a little bit thinner dough. This one is kind of a thick dough because, you know, it's a spiral. We need a little bit more. I'm gonna give this a little bit of heat, cook it a little bit more, and then we'll give it a taste. I feel like if you're making a cold dish, definitely the day ahead would be the way to go. Whenever you're making a cold pasta salad or something like that, you want it done a day ahead so that the flavors all get absorbed into that pasta. There were a lot of people that also said they hated both the AV8 and the Cajun pasta. I think a lot of it has to do with how you cook it and how you handle it and prep it and stuff like that. It's a lot the same to do with like keto baking. Like a lot of people try the baked goods like I did when I was first doing keto. I tried the baked good recipes that were online and I didn't like them. I was about ready to just give up and I'm like, wait, I'm a pastry chef. I can figure out better recipes. So it is all how you handle our different ingredients. Okay, it's warmed up, sauteed a little bit, hoping that softened things a little bit. Always nice to add some more Parmesan on top. And stuff, because they don't have this pasta on Thrive Market. On Thrive it was $7.99 for Cajun, but they don't have the 2 grams net carb. It's not too salty anymore because because we added it to the pasta. So you want your pesto nice and seasoned so that when you put it on something bland, it tastes like punchy basil and garlic and Parmesan. And it was definitely the right move to warm it up again, to cook the pasta a little bit further because it's not getting stuck in my teeth like it was before I heated it up with the pesto. It's good. It's not as good as the 6-gram net carb, which is what I was figuring, but it's still, I think, better than the Perfect Keto mac and cheese pasta. So I'll definitely be enjoying these 3 boxes over summertime. Definitely gonna be making some pasta salads and some warm dishes and all that stuff. And the pesto, just a delicious addition. This is gonna be good with a bunch of extra protein and veggies. It's gonna be delicious. This will be enough for dinner tonight and have some extra left over. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial video and you found it helpful. You enjoy this delicious pesto sauce on a bunch of different dishes this summer. I love a nice fresh caprese salad with this on top. Is amazing. Let me know what else you'd like tutorials for. Are there things in the kitchen that you think are too hard to do, but you want to attempt to make it? I'd love to help you out. Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my Amazon shop page. This pasta will be there if you want to buy it. It is lower carb and it's gluten-free, but the links to all the stuff I used here will be down in the description box below, along with a blog link to the full tutorial for a little healthier pesto sauce. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I'll be back with more keto, low carb, healthy meals, desserts, and snack recipes and sauces. Bye guys. Happy keto cooking. Like the pesto pasta?
Yum.
Like that chicken? Big piece of chicken. You don't put it all in your mouth at once. I think it's man approved.